ocean's grace, deeper than the sea, mercy, higher than the mountains. God, you're all I need.
So this video is going to be something a little different. It's going to be more about a discussion topic, and I want to discuss this season and why I believe that this is the worst season of Overwatch. Now keep in mind, I've only been playing this game since the end of season 2, so this is going to be my 3rd season. But within those 3 seasons, I've noticed a huge change, not only with the meta, but the players as well. And I've spoken to a lot of friends who've been playing this game since beta, and they've all shared similar feelings about this season as well, so something I want to dive into. Now, something I've been noticing a lot is the increased amount of throwers. Now, throwers have always been a part of the game. It's just that I've seen it starting to rise towards the end of Season 4, and then it just started blowing up towards Season 5. And because of that, that also leads to the increase of toxicity as well. And it's funny because a lot of people think that they have a mindset of, oh, I'll just go to PC because it's more fun there, you know, there's less toxic people. And that may be true, but then again, it may be not. I've read a lot of Reddit posts and I've watched a lot of YouTube videos where people who mainly play on PC are making the same material as to why they don't like the season at all. So the only difference between PC and console is that PC has a report system and console doesn't. So maybe it will help, but then again, it's always going to be there. So in the end, that's something that really won't solve the problem at all. And in my opinion, I think the reason for this is just because people just give up too easily. You know, I've watched some friends stream, I've seen some friends play as well, and whether they do good and bad during placements, during about that first couple days, they'll actually do really well. They'll actually climb and they'll almost reach their goal for the season. But towards the end of that first week or second week, they just get burnt out and they go on a losing streak. And then by that, then I hear them just talk about how they just want to give up and how they don't even care about the season anymore, when it's only been about a week or 2 into it. So that kind of just shows you the mindset that a lot of people have and how they just kind of give up that quickly. Now, keep in mind that there's also those who, because my friends, they're the type that don't throw. So when you go into a match, I notice that there's a lot of throwers. You know, I've had a lot of, and it doesn't matter regardless of the rank, because I've had friends who are in the lower ranks and they have constant throwers as well. Then I have some friends that are in top 500 as well, and they've dropped down to GM and sometimes even Masters because of constant throwers. So throwers were there regardless of tier. So just keep in mind that just because you climb up there doesn't mean that, you know, it gets any better. It's all the same. Now, the reason for that is because there is a discussion going around of how Overwatch is going to be dead soon. You know, just because you have all these new games coming out, such as Destiny 2, Battlefront 2, and the new Call of Duty. But in my opinion, I don't think that Overwatch is going to die anytime soon. Now, Blizzard has a huge fan base, and so they have so many people playing, whether they be their newer games or older games, and they're just still playing it, you know, regardless of who's there or not. And so I think this game is actually going to be there for a very long time, unless they come out with like a Overwatch 2.0 disc or something, then they're probably going to switch to that. But even by that, people are still going to play this game. And the something I want to talk about next is the meta. Now, I'm not a big fan of this meta, honestly. I think that this is the worst meta of them all, just because I'm not a big fan of dive in general, especially since Winston or Diva seem to be more of the popular picks now. And not only that, but people are forced to play heroes that they don't like, you know, just because of this meta, you know, and whether it be like supports or anything. So and this example would be, I would sometimes go into matches and I would see people who main supports, but they don't play that. They play a DPS or they play a tank, and I would ask them that why don't they play the hero that they main, and they just say because they feel forced to having to play that hero, and so they don't like it. That's why they have so many hours on it, and that's something that is also wrong with this season. Like example with Mercy. Mercy's a popular pick that no one likes to play, but they're forced to play her. Another thing I think has to do with the mindset of players. A lot of players used to play this game for fun, you know. They didn't care whether they win or lost. They just want to have fun. But like I said, towards the end of season 4, people were so adamant about being top 500, you know. And then season 5, people are so adamant about climbing up. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. It's just the fact that people now have a mindset where they put winning over everything and anything. You know, I once heard someone say that this game isn't fun unless you're winning. And I thought about it, and that should have never been the case. If you solely focus on just winning and don't value the other things, such as being with friends or getting better at this game, then you're always gonna, whether you win, you're still gonna lose, because you're just gonna be more toxic. You're gonna become more tilted easily, and that's all you're gonna care about, is just getting that W. The best advice I have, if for those who are wondering, how do I go about this season if you're still playing it, the best thing I can have advice to have for you is just have fun. Yes, it is frustrating if you lose, and yes, it is nice to win just so you can rank up in SR. But if you're on a losing streak right now, it's not the end, honestly. Because a lot of people complain that they're on a losing streak because of constant throwers, and that may be the case. But the other times, you just could have an off game, because I guarantee you that if you play 14 matches and you're on a 14-game losing streak, you are not having 4+ gold medals each match and dropping like 50 elims. So just be patient. Just take a breather. One thing I like to do a lot is, whenever I'm on a 2 or 3 game losing streak, either I'll just stop or I will just pause. Just don't even queue up, and just play that song that just brings you back to your place, brings you back to your senses, essentially, and just play it, blast it, sing it if you want, and hopefully by the end it'll calm you down. And then after that, you can decide whether to get back or not. But when you play that song that just calms everything down, I guarantee you'll feel better afterwards. Even if it's a little bit, you will feel better after that. But we're only about, by the time I'm making this video, we are about 2/3 of the way into the season. So the season's almost over. A lot of these new games are coming out. Just be patient, and hopefully you can rank up. It is proven that the more you play a game, you can only get better, so it will take time. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I'm not a toxic player at all. It's just I don't like the way this meta's going. I don't like the way the season is heading, or where it is right now, and I don't like how it's bringing out the worst of people. But other than that, I'd like to know what your thoughts are on this season. Whether you like it, whether you don't, whether you reached your goal this season or not, or you're close to. Whether also if you picked up a new hero or two. Seems like right now with this meta, a lot of people are trying out heroes that they actually want to learn. So curious to know if you actually are doing that as well. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this little discussion. As always, take care, God bless, and I will see you guys in the next one.